Hold on, you want to give me Overwatch and I'll... Oh, fuck, behind us. Please tell me I just killed this fucker. He's on the stairs. I'm reloading. My stomach's black. He's to my left. He's down, he's down. I don't have anything. Yeah. Hold on. Scav player. That scared the shit out of me. Hey guys, 8-Bit Trip here. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to show you guys an Escape from Tarkov video that I'm working on here today. Essentially what's going on is that I've been kind of thinking this over from a raid last night of how essentially the TV-110 AVS rig and the M1 armored rig can be huge benefit to the way that you can make money early to mid wipe while not sacrificing how much you bring into the raid, and essentially hopefully get us as much return as possible while also increasing our survival rate, while at the time people aren't using high tier ammo in their guns, like their 8Rs, whatever it is, their M4s, the AK-74, and they're not using like BS, BT, or M995. Right now we're at a stage in the game where most people don't have their trader unlocks for their ammo, and things are a lot more expensive for them if they wanted to go shopping on the flea market. So what's going on here is that essentially I went on a reserve raid last night. What I used was this AK-74, the TV-110, the tri-zip, everything you see here except what's inside the backpack and inside my rig are just being used for example right now to show you what kind of return you can get for using essentially a rig, a loadout like this. I'd say right now what my kit would be worth, aside from everything that's in there, most likely is about 150k, maybe 200k tops. You know, I guess if you're counting the ammunition and how kitted out my gun is, which I probably wouldn't do it unless I was running a duo or something like I was last night on reserve. But essentially, something like this is going to really increase my survival rate, because if you don't know this right now, the TV-110 got put up to an armor class 4. It has tons of space in it. Yes, it only protects my thorax, and I'll go into how that's not a benefit later. The AVS rig finally became a plate carrier. It has armor class 4 as well. This does protect my stomach, albeit 10 less durability, only 50 out of 50 on this guy. But the benefit to both of these rigs right here is that they're worth about 85, 80, maybe 75,000 rubles on the market at full durability, and essentially versus spending another 50k to get a Gen 4 and then another 30k on a BlackRock. I mean, you know, I'd literally be sacrificing less space for storage for one lower class level of armor, you know, for what? Just because I want to have a little bit more protection? I think class 4 is doing me quite a bit, you know, with the way the damage ratios turn out and running into scavs. I mean, they aim for the head most of the time more than anything, so like my chest isn't really a big problem there. The main thing I have to worry about are possibly player scavs or players that I have to fight off with, and class 4 is probably going to protect me pretty well right now. Up until probably late game, this should be a good kit for me to take into those raids, you know, and I can make out a lot of money with something like this. Like you know, I'd say at least maybe, I mean, as an example right here, this is probably close to, you know, 500, 700k worth of loot just in this AVS rig alone. If I had this up here in my tactical rig, I spent all my mags, you know, and I got to start dropping stuff. I mean, this would be what I'd be making out with like in a labs reserve raid, or maybe if I'm getting lucky on shoreline or something like that. If I killed Killa, I can fit his helmet in here along with some 60 round mags and Eagle Nick and everything like that. I mean, this is really going to be playing off in my favor in situations like that where I might not have the stash space. If I wanted to go class 5, class 6, I might be, overweighted and things like that much quicker. And my survivability rate and mobility will just be heavily lowered, in my opinion, whenever I'm running essentially armor like that. And I really just don't see the value in it, at least right now. Once it gets to late game, probably a different story. But if you're going to be seeing me out there, I'll probably still be using play carriers, just because for me, I see the value of what I can bring out of the raid versus what I'm bringing into the raid. I'm one of those people that constantly has gear fear, and I've been playing for about 3 wipes now, and it just never goes away for me. But the way that I look at these things is that I want to be able to make money. I want to be able to pay for my kit whenever I go into these raids. So I want to be able to make it out, be able to repair my gear, fill my mags. The key thing here is make it out, right? So I want to be able to make it out, pay for my gear, repair it, get my ammo back in, go back in, and hopefully made a profit while doing that. And I just don't see myself doing that if I'm using a Gen 4. And essentially, if I'm using a Gen 4 and a BlackRock, and that alone is costing me more than my gun, my helmet, my earpieces, and my ammo, that those 2 items there are way too expensive for me to bring it into this raid. Whenever I have much cheaper options with more stash space available to me, and I can fit these things into like my tri-zip and backpacks like that, or even a scav backpack. These things are just much more valuable to me right now, and I'm not spending a whole lot of money to bring it in. So that's really it. Risk for reward right now. These plate carriers are doing me a whole lot more than I'd say class 5 armor and things like that. Other benefits are, if you're insuring these items, there's a good possibility you're going to be getting it back, because somebody does have either class 5 armor. Unless it's a player scav and somebody doesn't want to drop the armor that they have, and they don't have the backpack space for it or don't want to make it, there's a good possibility I might be getting this back, especially if they happen to zero it out or something like that, and they just don't know what the value is of the TV-110, the AVS, or just things like that right now. With so many new players right now, I mean, you might be able to get away with stuff like this a lot more often than once we get into late wipe, and you have more experienced players out there on the field, or you just have people that have gained experience out there on the field, kind of learned what things are worth in this game and how it's going to work out for you. Up until last night and playing this game, I've just been waiting to get the money to get the Gen 4 loadouts and things like that, and just go all these kitted gears. And I just had an epiphany today that that TV-110 really did me right last night, and I don't think I really need to make a lot of changes for quite a while. It's not expensive, and it gives me good protection, and I can make it out with a lot of money. I don't know if I did this, but another rig that's well worth it, that's kind of providing the same thing, is the M1 armored rig. About 85K. I can get this on the market right now. It gives me 2 slots for helmets. I can fit items down here. If I killed Killa, I can put his helmet here. I can get his 60 round mags, or whatever, 75 round mag, or 9, whatever it is. And then also have my own mags, maybe a Salua, IFAX, Morphines, whatever it might be. Get the Labs key card in there just for fun. And yeah, I mean, it just plays out in my favor in so many different ways right now in this wipe, of what this kit is giving to me, rather than taking from me once I'm actually going out there into my raids. So yeah, those are my thoughts right now. Hopefully you guys gather some advice from this. Essentially, if you're afraid of losing your gear, spending too much money on your gear and losing it, I see these 3 rigs, the M1, the AVS, the TV-110, they're fantastically priced, because they used to be so much more expensive. They give you good armor. They give you more stash space, or more space for your character once you go in. You can probably get them on an insurance return. They don't cost much to repair, and they have good repairability. Like if I want to repair this TV-110, which I already did, at most I'm losing 2.2 from proper. If I go to mechanic, it's 1.3. Might as well just do proper and save myself the money. And essentially, I mean, I'm just gonna get so much out of a kit like this than I think I would out of a Gen 4. I'm so happy that Battlestate Games made plate carriers more available to us and gave us more options like this. I just see a huge value in this right now, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So hopefully you guys agree. If not, flame me in the comments. While you're doing so, don't forget to subscribe. And if you like to, you can also follow me on my Twitch or hit the notification button, whatever people do these days. I don't really care. I just want to help you guys out in the best ways that I can. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. I wanted to show you guys today something I've been working on. I was just thinking about essentially a new way that we can hopefully... Wow. I need a script. How many times do I want to say and is ridiculous. Every single one of those pauses was an and an going through my head right there because I can't fucking piece shit together. So we'll work this out together, guys. Progress, not perfection, right?